Yeah. I don't think I'll work with anybody. Ever. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Girl. How are you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much for asking.
Now,
So,
my
oh,
user
go ahead.
volume slider was at 76%. And that means we've talked before, and it means you were loud last time we talked.
I
So,
apologize.
no, I'm no apology necessary. I'm just telling you this is information I know about you. Continue.
Um, the question I wanted to ask is, well, there's two parts to it. Do you think that parts of the conversation that you had yesterday with Chud
No, whoa, whoa,
Logic
whoa,
and
whoa,
Des-
whoa, 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 whoa,
I'm sorry for what did I do wrong?
whoa,
What did I do wrong?
whoa. Are you gonna ask me if I think something when really you just think it?
So,
Yes or no?
I
Yes or no? Yes or
I
no? Yes or
I
no?
don't know. I don't know.
You don't know if you think this.
No, I don't know if my thoughts will be changed by your answers to
So
my
currently,
ask.
before calling in, no. Yes or no? I'm gonna hang
Uh,
up. No, I'm
I'll
gonna
go
hang
with
up. I'm
yes
gonna hang
then.
up. I'm
I'll
gonna
go
hang
with
up. I'm gonna
yes.
hang up. I'm
I
gonna
said
hang up. I'm gonna
yes.
shut
I
the
said
fuck
yes.
up. Shut up. Shut up. I'm gonna hang up
Okay.
if you don't answer this question. Before you called in, did you believe the thing that you're about to ask me if I believe? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Yes or no? Are you willing to just say that you think it instead of asking me if I think it?
Then yes then.
Because
I
I'm gonna tell
think
you what I think anyway.
okay.
I can't stop myself. That's what I'm
I'm
just gonna sit here and blather about what I think. So just go ahead and you say what you think,
I
and I'll say what
apologize.
I think, and
Yeah.
we'll go. I don't want your apologies. I don't want your apologies. I just want you to say what you think. That's all.
Okay. Then I think that you,
Yeah.
Destiny, and Chud Logic
Yeah.
should have had a
Yeah.
part of the discussion.
Yeah. In
I'm having
private.
trouble. Yeah.
In private.
In private. Yeah. Prior to
Yes.
it. Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Why? Good. Oh
Because
God. Doesn't that feel good to just say something? Can you feel
well,
that? You feel that fucking magic there?
I appreciate your perspective, so I didn't want to
Oh.
characterize it. I think people watch you because they appreciate your perspective, which is the
Do
only
you
reason
no? Do
why
you
I asked
appreciate
that.
your perspective? Doesn't it feel good to
Yes.
just say something? To just fucking say it? Doesn't that feel
Yeah.
good?
I mean, I don't think I feel any different personally, but
Huh?
yeah.
Huh?
Might be a
Okay.
quirk for myself.
Okay.
I apologize for that. Yeah.
I don't want your apologies.
Well, I am apologizing.
I know. That's
It,
why I'm upset with you. Okay. So why don't you go ahead and explain why you think that part of the conversation between me and Chud and Steven should have been private?
I think that some of the revelations and some of the perspectives that you shared and Chud Logic shared could have been hashed out in private to Destiny, and I think some of that would have been better without the audience input, and that
That's
to a
what you
certain
just said, but why? Why? You just said that. Why?
what I think
All right, listen.
the
I'm gonna stand up and see if I can squish my disc back into my spine a little bit while you explain this, but I'm still listening.
okay okay
Oh,
I
fuck.
I think that the kind of difficulties that Chud Logic was, having, and some of your, I think about halfway into your part of like the main discussion, you started talking about how you personally felt like threatened, or you know, the interaction there was somehow like dangerous to you and your friends. And I think parts of those kind of things are things that Destiny could understand, and I think that the revelations that Chud Logic was having some trouble with are things that, like, I don't know if a private conversation like
Why do
before
you
or
think
after
those?
would have,
Why do you think those should have been had in private?
because
Yeah.
well,
What would have been better if it was in private? That makes you think that it should have been done that way.
I don't know what could have gone better, but I know that I think that to a certain extent that I think that it didn't go as well as it could have. And I share a lot of your opinions about how that kind of like makes me. I mean, I wouldn't say I feel as strongly as you. I think it makes me feel really weird that he's doing these things with Nick, but I think that some part of your message is conveyed poorly, or the like unified front that you and Chud Logic had would be conveyed poorly by like, piecemealing out these. I don't think they're revelations
I
necessarily,
can't
but
follow
like,
what you're saying. I can't understand what you're saying.
okay, well, is there any part of you understand so I can,
No, I can't. I
jump off
literally
of that
can't.
part?
The words you're saying, I can't understand what they mean. If somebody
Okay,
asked me to summarize what you just said, I'm gonna try.
okay,
Let's pretend I got
yeah,
put. I'm on trial, and they're cross-examining me, and they're like, "What did the guy say when he called in?" I would say, "I don't know." I would say he
okay,
said that some parts of it would have been better in private because some parts of it would have been better in private. Piecemeal. You said that, and you said chud, and I don't know
okay.
anything. I don't know what you're saying. I can't understand the words you're saying. I can't
Then I'll
understand what
I'll
you're
try
saying.
harder. Yeah. Okay. So do you think that I could think that
Yes.
your
Yes.
response about
The
halfway
answer
through
is yes.
this?
I think you could think that. Yes.
Okay. Do
You
you
don't need to know the
understand
rest of it. Just know
why?
it.
Do you understand if I thought that, how I could think that it's possible that that part of the discussion would be better in
I
private?
don't know what part you're referring to.
You just said yes, though.
No, you said, do
You
you think that I could think? And the answer is yes. You could think
okay?
anything. I think you could think
Why?
whatever you're about to say.
Why would you interrupt me if
Because the answer to your
I was
question
trying
is
to get a point?
yes.
Okay.
Okay, it'd be
But
like
I was asking.
if I said, I have a bag that holds 1 cubic foot of fruit. And do you think it could hold 1 cubic foot of fruit if the fruit were comprised of a kiwi, 2 grapes, 3 bananas, 4? You'd be like, yes, I already know the answer to this. Do you think that
You
I could?
asked.
Do you think that I could think? Yeah, I do think you could think. Yes.
You
I
said
don't want to hear
that
the
you
rest
were
of it.
confused. You said you were confused about parts of it. So I was trying to convey very
No, I didn't say
clearly my perspective.
no. I didn't say I'm confused. I
Okay,
said
I'm
I
sorry for that
can't
then.
understand the words you are saying.
Okay, and the methodology I was using to try and convey that is by, piece by piece laying it out. And I
I don't know
thought,
what you're laying out. It's like I don't
okay,
know what you're saying. Just say what you think, but short.
okay, I think that your emotional response to Destiny about
Yeah.
halfway through the discussion
When I was screaming, he
was
wants to
not,
kill my family.
yes, was not
Okay.
a productive part. And if you brought that out first, or
Why
if
do you
you
think
brought that
that's
out
not
in
productive?
private,
Why do you think that's not productive? That's good. I can understand that. Why do you think that's not productive? I understand what you're saying
because
right now.
because I think that there are very clear, like, ways that the kind of, uh, perspective that you are
I can't
holding.
understand what you're saying. I can't follow what you're saying
Okay,
anymore.
okay.
Why do you think that's not
I
productive? I think that's not productive because, and then you would
I
say,
think that's not productive because
yeah,
I
yeah,
think the
yes,
audience will
yeah.
completely tune out when you get too emotional because they always do it, and I think that
Okay,
is
okay,
something
okay,
that
okay, okay,
Steven
okay,
and
okay,
your
okay,
audience is
okay, okay,
commonly
okay, okay,
doing.
okay, okay, wait. That's the conversation is about that though. Weren't Chud and I trying to challenge the idea that being emotional is bad and that saying things because you're feeling emotional is bad? Aren't we trying to say that emotions need to be part of these conversations and be taken into account and cared about and talked about and
Yes.
expressed freely? So you're saying it wasn't Giga Chad enough. You're saying in our stream decrying the age of the Giga Chad and the emotional psychological damage, it's wreaking havoc on all of our psyches, on you, on me, on audience, on everybody, on the conversation itself. And you're saying in that conversation, I should have said, oh, I'm going to get emotional here, so we should do this off stream. That doesn't make any
No.
sense.
No. I'm sorry if I'm not being clear. Like,
Don't be
the
passive aggressive. Just say that you think I don't
I'm not
understand it
being
and call
passive
me stupid.
aggressive.
Call me
I'm not
stupid.
being. I believe everything I'm saying.
Call me
So
stupid.
I don't believe you're stupid.
It'll make us both feel better. Okay.
Well, um, the sorry, I'm getting a little flustered.
Me too.
The well, can I have like 5 seconds then?
What do you really
Thank
mean?
you. Yeah, thank you, thank you.
One.
So, I took the 5 seconds when you're quiet. Yeah.
Oh, that you just mean 5 seconds of quiet?
No, I mean that I already took the 5 seconds, like when there
You
was
can
like a
have
little
5
gap.
minutes of quiet. I'm fine with silence.
Okay,
It's talking that I hate.
that's fair enough. So
Yeah.
the I think that the push towards acknowledgement of emotional, ideas is important. I applaud you and Chud for like, rallying behind that thing. But
Yeah.
I
I
think
need you to
I think
reconcile
the
that. I
message
need you to
gets
I need you to reconcile that with telling me to not get emotional on stream. During the stream when we're
yes.
talking about how we should get emotional on stream, you haven't really explained to
I
me
think the
how those are
message gets
not.
diluted when you're also talking about Nick. Because
Yes, that's right. That's right. That's because people can't tolerate emotionality, right?
well, I
And
don't
so if you're getting emotional talking about it, then all the other person has to do to win is to say Giga Chad. Why are you soying out? That's why every comment
but
on on the video, all the comments are like, "Oh, Nick tried to overthrow the government. Cry me a river."
and I
Right?
agree with you that like a lot of
Yes.
commenters
So
can be dumb.
yes. So we're on the same page that it is less
Yeah.
rhetorically effective to challenge the status quo of how we talk. Absolutely. The most
Yes.
rhetorically effective thing you can do is play into the status quo.
So
But if you're in protest of the status quo, then you're prioritizing challenging that status quo over what is most persuasive. So I'm not trying to
it
be that. Being persuasive is not my primary goal in that stream or any stream, and you think it should be. What you're saying is, Max,
no.
yeah. You're saying, Max, hey, this is really important. Do your thing. Do your honest. Do your emotional thing. That's great. I think it's really important, buddy. I think it's important, bud. I think it's cute. Do that when you're talking about something that doesn't matter. Like cuties. You know.
I
Or we're talking about Dr. K, something I don't give a shit about. But I care about this Nick Fuentes fella. I
I
care
care
about
about
this.
the Dr. K stuff.
I care about this Nazi shit. So when you're talking about something important to somebody who has a lot of sway, then you
Yes.
should set aside your values and just do what is most rhetorically effective and persuasive. That's what you're saying.
I think I would argue that you're setting
No,
aside and
no,
think
no. Just no. Stop. Stop trying. Don't try to change it to something else. Be like, well, if you think about it this way, you're setting
no, I'm
aside your
not trying to change
values
it.
by sticking to your values.
No. The
Fuck you.
if you believe that center
Fuck
point of
you.
like, okay, I'm sorry you
You
feel
could
that
you
way.
could talk yourself into fucking anything. You know that?
No, I couldn't. I'm pretty vanilla.
You're gonna teach me how to do mental gymnastics. You're not answering.
I
I need you to answer the last point.
okay,
You are
what would
telling
you
me to sacrifice my values to be more persuasive because you think the topic is important. Isn't that right? And
can you
you're asking me to circumvent that by having it off stream.
I guess
So that way I wouldn't have to
I
decide if I'm going to be emotional or not. I would just do it off stream. But to me, doing it off
I
stream is
think you're
deciding to
always
not be
emotional.
emotional on stream. You're not answering the question, and if you don't
Okay,
answer it, I
I'm
must
trying to answer.
terminate your time on the mrgirl hotline until the screeners, who have immensely fucked up by allowing you on here, see fit to bring you back on again. So
So
this is your last
responsibility.
chance, motherfucker. Do you think, as I do, that you are telling me that because the topic is of vital importance of the platforming of Nick Fuentes and sanitization of Nick Fuentes specifically, do you think you're asking me to set aside my values and my my code and the code that we're talking about in the stream to be more rhetorically effective because you think that topic is important? Are you asking, is that what you're saying you think I should do?
Yes.
Okay. Are you about to offer me some mental gymnastics slippery,
I
lizard,
hope not. I hope not.
mucus covered way that I can and
Can I
somehow
explain
convince
my
myself that
perspective a little bit?
yeah.
Okay. So I did not catch the parts where you and Chud Logic were speaking, and I might have missed your intro with Chud Logic. I don't think so. I think I saw, how you and Chud Logic came into the stream.
I don't
I
want to hear a
don't.
story about what you saw or didn't see. I'm losing my
Okay.
shit here. You're not
Well,
explaining anything. You said, "Can I talk for a second?" And
if
you're like, "Okay, so yesterday morning I took a shower."
don't you tell these stories about yourself all the time?
Yes.
Okay. Can you give me half a second then?
No. Get to the
Okay.
point.
Okay. I don't
You're the
think that
guest. You're the
I don't think.
guest. I fart
Okay.
in my own house. I look Shaylin right in the eye and I fucking fart. I fart and I'm like, I want to see your facial. What do you think of that fart? What do you think of that? Huh? Did you like that fart? I don't do that in other people's houses
Okay.
unless I know them very well.
I don't think you conveyed
And you don't know me that
as well
well.
as I
So
think.
keep your fucking farts to yourself and tell me the fucking story. Tell me the deal. I mean, don't tell me the story. Tell me the point.
I don't think that the stance that you have against the gay Chad movement was nearly conveyed nearly as well in that stream, and that part of it, as prior to this, I was not aware of that being a super, hyper idealized sense in your mind. So I think the narrative that you talk about, Nick Fuentes being a bad person, comes off that, at least to me, that it would be more important to you, and that some of that should be potentially, weighed differently. And again, I'll apologize if I had the wrong take there, but that's just how it felt.
You did have the wrong take there.
Okay.
Being honest about my feelings, especially, I would say it's even more important to me to be honest about my feelings when I'm making a big claim about somebody. If I'm going to say somebody is a Nazi, then I need to also divulge how I feel about them, how I feel about Nazis, how I feel about Steven, how I feel about Chud, how I feel about the conversation, because I don't want to be persuasive. I want to be expressive. I want you to understand what I think with the grain of salt, the cube of the truckload of salt that is my feelings. I want you to know that when I hear Nazi, I think of my family dying. I think of me dying. I think of people that I love and care about dying. I think about gay people, black people, retarded people, blind people. Everybody the Nazis want to kill, I think of them dying. And I have a really strong feeling about that. And I want Steven to, and when people say, then people try to bait me. They're like, or try to preempt me because they think I'm too pussy. They think I'm going to giga chat of it. So they say, he's just upset about his friendship with Steve. He's upset that Fuentes is friends with Steven. Yes. I'm very open about, I am upset that Fuentes is friends with Steven. Yes, that's what the fucking stream is about. Yes. He's upset that Fuentes gets to go to Steven's house and he doesn't. No, I'm not jealous of him going into his house. I'm explaining what I'm upset about. I'm very open about what I'm upset about. Yes, it's important to me to be, because if you're not, then if you get upset, then it's like, oh, now I see what's really going on. You're having emotions. Yes. I'm having emotions. I'm already open about having emotions. This is why when I get upset, I don't concede the argument. I don't consider myself to have lost a debate. Every single person on the planet, all 7 billion of you fucking morons, could sign a big fucking piece of paper that says Mr. Girl lost the debate because he got upset, and I still wouldn't agree with you. It's wrong. You're wrong. It needs to change. And the time it needs to change the most is when the topic is most important. You don't get to have principles and then just abandon them when it's convenient because you really want to win this argument. I really want to win this argument, so I'll just hide my feelings this time because I really, really, really need to win this one. No.
I don't think
I would
you should
rather go to
your
the
feelings.
fucking gas chamber. No.
I don't think so. I think the purpose of a partially offline talk would have been to clear up or like smooth down some of the
I
edges so that
understand
things
that
are
you
more
can
clear.
come up with a new frame in which I'm not abandoning my principles, but the first way that you framed it is actually the real way, which is you got to
You made
emotion. You
me
got
make
to
it
no no
simple.
no no.
You
Shut
made me
up.
make it simple.
You got too emotional on stream and it hurt your argument. You should have done that off stream. There is no way to reconfigure that in my little brain that's going to mean anything other than your emotionality
So you can have opinions of
hurts
nuance,
your
and I
emotionality.
can't.
Your emotionality hurts your presentation, and therefore you should keep the emotional part private. That's what you're saying. There's
Do
no
you
way. Do I
do
think?
you
No,
think
I don't think
no?
anymore. I don't think anything.
Do you think commenters can't, like, you can have nuance, but like commenters, people calling in, can't have nuance in their positions?
This isn't nuance. This is a 180.
This isn't a 180. I had the same opinion at the beginning as I do now. I
The
just was
framing, the
forced
framing,
to
the framing is a
answer
180.
yes or no.
Yes, the framing is a 180.
If you make me answer in yes or no like statements,
Then
it's
you shouldn't switch
possible that
from
we
yes
were
to no.
unclear.
You probably shouldn't switch from yes to no if I make you do
Well,
that.
because I think that, like, if it's 51% to 49%,
This is why
I
I
think I
think you
still
could.
have
This
to
is
answer yes.
Oh. So you think if we took everything you've said right now and we said, what percentage of this person's argument do you think relies on this? Emotionality hurts your ability to persuade. You think the chat will say only 50. Let's check it. Let's do a poll. Let's
Okay.
see. Let's see if it really is 51%.
I think I'm in a little bit of an unfair position here.
Yeah,
but
you're fucked. We're gonna add 4 options. And we're gonna have
content brain.
And now you're trying to discredit. You're like Trump. You're trying to discredit the count before we even do the election.
No,
That's fine. You say whatever you want.
I believe in the count. I believe in the count. I believe in the count.
All right. What percentage of callers' argument is emotion hurts persuasion? And we're going to have choices. We're going to do 10, 25, 51, and over 90.
Rig the vote in my favorite chat.
Okay. What percentage of caller's argument is emotion hurts persuasion? 10, 25, 51, or 90 plus? And we're going to see if your nuance horseshit is true. Okay, 90%, 90 plus is now at 60% of the vote. 51% is 12% of the vote. Oh, 51% is gaining 19%.
I haven't voted, so I can't see it.
Well, you should vote. You're allowed to vote.
I don't think I should vote.
A presidential candidate is still a civilian and is allowed to vote for themselves.
Well, I am not partaking.
What the fuck's the question? What percentage of callers' argument is emotion hurts persuasion? What does the caller think? The caller thinks it's 51%.
I didn't. Okay.
What percent do you think it is?
I don't know what percent it is, but I think
what do you
that
get?
it was.
Well, what would you vote for? If you could write in, what would you vote?
I don't know what percent of it, but I don't think that it's a.
Well, you said I was forcing you into an unfair binary with yes or no, so I want to know then what percentage of your position do you think this represents?
I think it represents probably like 40%.
Then why'd you say yes?
Because
is this part of it? You think it's part of it? You think it's there? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we're going to close the poll. By the way, this is what it's like to date me, if any of you are curious. about that. What percentage of Clara's argument is emotion hurts persuasion? We're ending the poll in 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. 157 votes. And 52% said 90+% of your argument is that emotion hurts persuasion.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm probably not conveying my point very well then.
Well, then
that's on me.
let's start over.
Okay.
No, let's not. But what do you think? What's your point?
Okay.
If it's not that, what's your point? What's the rest of your point?
The other part of it was that I thought the discussion, like you shutting off people coming in, it felt a little weird because if you're gonna have it on stream, if like chat's gonna have an input, if other people are gonna like garner opinions, and to whatever extent, like because of my feelings on like, if you want to put it this way, emotions like deriding the argument, if in whatever way, I don't think it did a lot to that, but I do think it did something.
I can't understand what you're saying.
Okay. Do you know how you cut off Rem and like everyone that was coming in?
Yes,
I think you were absolutely right to
I know
cut
what
off
happened.
Nick. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't want Rem there. I want to have a conversation about emotional vulnerability and sincerity and irony and the use of these things, both implementing those things in the conversation and also how those things are paving a way for Nick Fuentes to rise in profile, and how Steven is helping him do that because of his own reluctance to be emotionally vulnerable about his feelings about racism or Nazism or genocide. That's what I wanted to talk about. And I think Rem and Aiko were going to really fuck that conversation up. Just like
so I don't know.
Everybody was trying to get what?
I don't know any of them, but I think like not knowing of their like perspectives, I think made me feel that I think if we're talking about feelings and how that kind of thing ends up being played out, that like hearing voices about this and about how that kind of thing.
I don't want to hear voices about it. I want to hear Chud's voice about it. Chud was like, I feel like I can't express how I really feel about these things. Started the stream and then started parading people in who were just going to ramble and obfuscate from him being able to and cover up any chance he had to actually be sincere and vulnerable about how he feels about these things. Then I tried to corner him into being vulnerable, and he said I raped him. I mind raped him, which is I don't know, maybe true. And Steven helped me. It wasn't all me. It wasn't all my idea. Steven bears some responsibility for the mind rape of Chud Logic. And then, he still didn't want to do it. And then he was like, actually, you know what? You know what it is? Fuck you. I'll be vulnerable. I'm angry at you. Fuck you. I disagree with you. Yeah, I changed my mind. Fuck you. And then I was like, okay, so I guess that was the truth. And that's it. And that was it. So more people in there is not going to help with my objective for the conversation.
So that part of the, I agree that happened, but that happened after all those interactions.
Well, I don't want Steven to get defensive. So if you get a bunch of people in there who are trying to make a name for themselves by being the one who shouted at Steven, I don't want them there. They're just there either to get money or to just ramble. It's not going to help. And I'm not saying this specifically about those people. I'm just saying anyone. Just get everyone out of the conversation. There's no streamer. Every streamer's objective. Every time a streamer talks, it's a commercial for their stream. And now, do I really want any streamer coming in and be like, here's why you should watch me instead of Steven or mrgirl or Chud Logic? No, shut up. Shut the fuck up and get out. Fuck you.
Do you consider Steven Destiny your friend?
Yes.
Okay. I think that entire very reasonable argument I think you just made is also why that part of that should be held off stream, and the fact that you didn't have a good assessment of I might be wrong about this, but I think you thought Chud Logic was far more on your side at the very beginning when you went in for the intervention, I'll call it.
I did. Okay, this is your last statement. I have to end this call. I just realized I'm in a time warp. It's a fucking Sunday afternoon now. I don't know what happened. What's your last point or question? Do you want to make a last point or last question?
I'll ask a last question.
Okay, what's up?
Sorry, let me try and find the words for this. if Chud Logic ended up, having some, internal discourse that ended up fucking with things, if like the online format, you think
Oh,
that
please,
people are
please,
trying.
please, 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 one if.
Okay, I don't think that you should have potentially have made a trailer for your stream by having this discourse with Destiny, at least in the way you had it. And I think that Chud Logic's response and his non-response at the end kind of illustrates that to some extent, and that some of those things could have been made it out other places. And
You
I
think I
wonder what you
should?
think
You
about
think I
that.
should? What? It sounds like you think that I should have set aside my value of emotional
I'm
honesty.
simplifying it.
And
I'm
yeah,
simplifying
yeah.
it.
It sounds like you think that I should have set aside my value of emotional honesty and demanding emotional honesty for others, for the purpose of making the stream more persuasive and rhetorically effective for Steven and his viewers.
Do you think that
Is that what you're
demanding that
saying?
of?
Is
Do you
that what you're
think
saying?
demanding
Is that what you're saying?
a little bit? But I think you demanded too much of Chud, and that illustrates some of the problem.
Yeah, it sounds like you're saying that Chud did not want to be as emotionally vulnerable as I was demanding that he be, and that I should have set aside my
Or that you
values,
thought he, or that you
or
thought
that
he'd
I
be.
thought he was going to be. Yeah, and it sounds
Yeah.
like you're saying that I should have set aside my values and kind of allowed him to gracefully step back from it and both claim that he was being emotionally vulnerable and not be at the same time, which would also be against my values of
Or
commenting on
maybe
when other
giving it
people
more time.
commenting on when other people are kind of being slippery and evasive in a way that kind of hangs me out to dry. And you think that I should have let that go because it would have been made the stream ultimately more rhetorically effective. That's what you're saying, right?
No, I'm not saying any of that part.
Okay.
I think you are taking me in very bad faith, and I understand why you do it, but I don't
I
think
don't
that
think you
that
do.
conveys my
I
opinion.
actually think this is what you are saying.
I think that comment sections poison your mind, and you kind of illustrated that in previous discussions just today.
Well, if my mind is poisoned, then I'm not going to be. I can't unpoison it. If my mind is poisoned, you're not the antidote. Let's put it that
And
way. And this
I'm sorry for
conversation
being
has
not
not
being the
been it.
antidote then. And
Okay.
I'll hop off then.
All right.
I hope you have a good one.
I hope you do too.
Thank you.